Alright guys, yeah, just come out of the shower. It's about lunchtime now here in Germany, and it's really not nice outside. It's really nice and sunny, but I'm freezing my bollocks off outside. It's weird. We're having one day where it's like 10 degrees, the next day it's like -3. I know there are some people out there who believe that the weather is being changed and manipulated by like the US government and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I don't know. The weather's a little bit inconsistent, but it seems to be becoming nicer and warmer, so you can just go out in a jacket, which is perfect weather for me. So yeah, just about to do myself some instant noodles, and I saw this beer actually in one of the like discounter supermarkets, and I've never seen it before, and I thought, oh, I'll pick one of those up. I'll have it with my lunch. Job's a good one. And it's from one of my favourite breweries. But before I get into that, I did actually try and record this video about 10 minutes ago, but I went on a big rant about the backlash Brewdog received over their appearance, or specifically James Brewdog received over his appearance on Who's the Boss UK. God, if it isn't the draconian camera elitists, it's the idiotic craft beer snobs. I don't know, there's just so many people who love to bitch, whine and moan about every little thing that Brewdog does. Oh my god, no one's holding a gun to your head to support a brewery like Brewdog. They make great beers. I don't really care about what they do or how they do their business. I don't care if they're still punk or not. They make great beer. And yeah, I might not really be into the small batch, you know, where you're paying like upwards of like £5 for like a 330ml bottle. Don't worry, I've done that in the past. What was that beer that they did? I had like a Japanese label. I was like a couple of years ago. I was in a Brewdog bar in Liverpool after I'd been to like a little job interview. And I'd heard people talking about this beer, so I was like, alright then, yeah, I'll try that one. I should have asked how much it was before I bought it, because I ended up paying £6 for a 330ml bottle. But I don't do that. I like to look for the bargains. I don't need to try like Prairie Artisan beers, you know what I mean? But yeah, people just love to bitch and moan at Brewdog, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't even want to make a separate video on it. I don't need to defend Brewdog, and I don't need to defend why I like to buy Brewdog beers. Today is, I'll probably be uploading this on Easter, if I remember, because it's an Easter beer, apparently, and it's from the Weltenburger Kloster brewery, which is really highly renowned. You can get a lot of the Weltenburger Kloster stuff in the UK and the US, but this is the Oster Festbier, which is their Easter Festbier. Now, I get the sneaky suspicion that this is just like their other fest beers, but it's being put back into circulation for Easter. I could be wrong about that. Couldn't really find too much information either in English or German regarding this beer. Just like the typical rate beer advocate reviews. Not really going into about how different this is from like the regular Helles that they do, or the Urtypel, or the, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, if it's a good beer, you can find a 6-pack here for about €4. So we've got we're going to a friend's this weekend, so if it's a good beer, I'll buy a 6-pack of it, and there's, yeah, that's my night sorted. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Weltenburger Kloster. I reviewed a couple of their beers so far on the channel, and I've drank a lot of their beers in the past. And yeah, I think this beer was actually brewed by Bischofshof here in Regensburg, which is another really good brewery. But yeah, nice looking label. You've got that, obviously, that uniform basic layout, but it's got a nice green look to it. You've got a nice little, is that a lamb on the front, obviously throwing back to an Easter related ceremony. And then on the back you've got the usual blurb. It does have like English language options, so I'm guessing this is exported to England. Nice label on the neck, and there is the Weltenburger Kloster crown. So yeah, they're always nicely presented, and I've got a lot of time for Weltenburger Kloster. So let's get this beer opened. Nice tiny bit of gun smoke, not really seeing that on camera. And yeah, let's get it poured. So the beer is pouring fairly light. It's described as an Oktoberfest. Jesus Christ. I haven't even drank anything today. It's described as an Oktoberfest / Märzen. So I was expecting it to be a little bit darker than that, but it's like a nice crisp looking lager, clear as day. Got a nice amount of carbonation, not too carbonated, and it's poured with fingers worth of pretty much like dishwater soap, but a bit whiter. And yeah, it's got a nice, slightly light orange, more yellowy sort of glow to it, and you know, typical Hellas Pilsner, that sort of look to it. So yeah, let's see what it smells like. Grassy, it's got like a dank dampness to it. Picking up a little bit of malt, a little bit of honey, there's like a sweetness in the background. But yeah, grassy, herby, that sort of thing. You know, it's what you expect from a beer of this style, I suppose. So not too exciting on the aroma, but that's never really an issue. It's just how well it tastes and how it drinks. So let's find out. Cheers. It's nice, it's crisp. I've always went weird then. Nice, crisp, malty. It's got a really nice bready note in the background as well. More like not a completely what's the word I'm looking for? Not completely whole grain, but it's not completely like a white bread. Like a nice malty bun almost. Picking up like a sweetness in there as well, which I'm guessing is coming from the malts. Not too sweet, not sickly sweet, like maybe a very light brown sugar sort of vibe going on in there as well. Slight hints of maybe a banana bread as well. It's a tiny bit more fruity than the usual sort of fest beers and Hellas and Oktoberfest style beers. It's like a malt loaf, but with like a very slight sweet edge to it. Not really like peppery or herby on the flavour like some beers of this nature are, but not too sweet. It's got like a nice lemony citrus sort of flavour really in the background. It drinks really easy. The body looks a lot lighter than it actually is. Really nice body. It's got a really nice body. Really nice body. Very drinkable. Very sessionable. I'd have this a bit more chilled than drinking this at room temperature. And yeah, for a 6-pack for like €4, you can't really complain at that price. Not the most flavoursome beer that I've ever drank in my life, and you have to apologise to her, not done anything to it since I've come out of the shower, so it's just like flopping, so I've got like 90s fringe going on there. But yeah, it's a damn solid little beer. And it's not my favourite that Weltenburger Kloster's done. And I don't know, I've come to that point now when it comes to fest beers and seasonal German beers from the bigger breweries. I used to get really quite excited about them. But now I've come to, you know, lower down my... what's the word I'm looking for? I can't operate today. Expectations. Lower my expectations a bit more. I'm not going to be experiencing anything new or exciting with a beer like this. It's a slight variation on the style. It is one of the better Oktoberfest / Märzen beers that I've tried. It could be a tiny bit more malty, I suppose, a little bit more dense and dark. But then again, you know, that counteracts the lightness of the beer. It's a perfect spring beer, perfect for Easter. You know, it's not really Eastery, but for the time and the fact that you're going to have, you know, family round, and if you're, you know, you really celebrate Easter, then this is a good little beer to try. If you see it in your local bottle shop, definitely give it a try. But see what other Weltenburger Kloster beers that they have in stock, because like I said, there are some better beers from Weltenburger. But it's still a damn good beer. So I'm going to give this probably a 7.5 out of 10. It could be just a little bit more flavourful, but I'm not going to complain. Really sessionable. It's going to complement my noodles perfectly. It'll complement most meals. Perfect for a curry, a burger, that sort of thing. And yeah, if you just want a high quality German lager, then you could do a lot worse than this. So that was my review of Weltenburger Kloster's Oster Festbier. If you want to find out more about this brewery and this beer, I will try and find additional information that gives a bit more background into the actual beer itself, because I just do suspect that it's a slightly altered recipe that they've already got for some of their other fest beers, even though the only other season one I know is the Wintertraum, which is more of an amber lager. And it's definitely not like a relabel of that. The Wintertraum is one of my all-time favourite beers anyway, so they'll always be hard to compare a beer to that one. But yeah, it's a damn good beer, 7.5 out of 10. Check out my Oktoberfest Märzen playlist down below. Check out any other Weltenburger Kloster beer reviews that I've done also. Check me out on Instagram. I'm getting quite a few followers now, which is really nice, getting to know a few new people. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. If you haven't done so already, push that red button, whatever. And yeah, if this is actually uploaded on Easter, I hope you're all having a fantastic Easter so far. I hope you've gorged on Easter eggs and that sort of thing, or if you've got any other traditions that you do, I hope you just gorge yourself on that anyway. And yeah, if you tried the Weltenburger Kloster Oster Festbier, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. This has been another overly long beer review for a beer that doesn't really need, more than 5 minutes. But hey, I'm the Clueless drinker. It wouldn't be a Clueless drinker review if I didn't waffle on about pointless shit. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Cheers. I won't lie, I was thinking of like spitting it and dribbling it down my mouth just to make, put the icing on the cake. See you later. Was that a wink?